and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursdays, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men, because frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I'm super excited to chat with this brother today. He is a self-described country boy from Quitman, Georgia, by way of Dixie, Georgia. Full disclosure, never heard of either. But he is also an entrepreneur, a husband, and a father. And please welcome Mr. Torrence Simmons. Hi, Torrence.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here today. I'm so glad that you are here today. And Torrence, we are contributing today to our repository of 6 questions on our way to 100 answers by 100 different Black men, because our goal is to perhaps one day inspire and guide a young king who may or may not have positive Black male role models in his life, for him to come to this repository, see these same questions and all these different answers that he could perhaps find his way and guidance through. And then for us, the rest of us who are neither Black or male, for us to be able to take a peek into this underappreciated, undervalued, underseen community called positive Black men. We are often seen in the media just a microcosm, a sliver of our community, when we know the rest of our community is out there alive and well and making impacts in our community. And so this is what this is about. And so without any further ado, I'm so happy that you're here. And 2, I'm going to get started with the first question, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
Ooh, that is a tough question because there are so many facets. For me, manhood is integrity. It is standing up against what the world may see as right, but you know in yourself it's not right. And doing when you don't have, giving when you don't have, pushing through when you don't have. That's what manhood is for me. And I think of my grandfather. His parents were slaves, and it's funny you said you didn't know where Quitman or Dixie was. Not many people do, but he grew up on a plantation that I frequent very often, and I know a lot of history of slave times and plantations, and seeing that a lot of times we get out of books, but I'm not going to say I lived it directly, but I saw a lot of it directly. So just watching him move and operate, that's where I get my definition from.
Wow, that's really powerful. Thank you so much. So Torrence, who and or what is important to you?
First, my family is very important. And that comes in 2 folds. It's the one that I have created, my wife, my daughter, and we have another one on the way in a few months, as well as a good friend of mine. He says, the family that you're born into and the family that you create. So the close friends, that unit, those are very important to me. I hold dear, followed by my community, because without them, I wouldn't be here. And part of my entrepreneurial travel is being a business coach. And I tell people all the time that there's a myth out there of self-made. It's BS, right? You can't do it alone. Somebody has to be there, whether they open the door for you or they prop you up when you're falling down on your knees. It's a community. So those are the most important to me, the family aspect, followed by the community.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. So Torrence, how do you want us to see you?
Ooh. Um, it's funny because I've never been one to be in the forefront. Anybody that knows me knows that I will give all the praise to any and everybody else. Um, but I want to be seen as the person you can rely on. You can trust. That goes back to the integrity. And my grandfather always told me, never speak for your work. Let your work speak for you. So, that was always important to me. To just be accountable, to be integral, just to be that reliable person. So that's how I want to be seen and known, just for those values and those traits.
That's powerful. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Torrence, what is your epic dream?
Ooh, um, now it is to create a legacy, many generations down, that I won't even see, but they will know me, right? I listened to a sermon, and the pastor was talking about how he was at a time where he was acting out, as a child, and his aunt took him and said, "You have hands like my father, and nose and face. And if you can't act accordingly, change your name." And that resonated so deeply. That's what I want to leave, like that runway, or just that charge for my generation, generational wealth of knowledge, generational financial freedom, just that you don't have to struggle with the same things. And I appreciate with the generations before me. It's a shirt that I've seen and I love to wear. I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams. And I would love to continue to be that pivotal point for generations to come.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, Torrence, who are you?
I am a simple man. Simple in the fact of I don't personally want for much. I am, as you said in the intro, a self-declared country boy. I carry all my friends laugh at me because I carry a pocket knife. I When I first came to Metro Atlanta, had a job in a office and I was walking around barefooted. My manager was like, "Lord, all you need is a piece of straw in your mouth." Like, I am that person. I don't like the flashy, and that's that's me in a nutshell. I am a protector. I'm one slow to anger, but once I'm there, just move out the way, because you've done something to who I'm protecting. I'm that protector. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. Just quiet, reserved, and don't bother anyone. Like to have a good time. Like to be around family. A introvert, believe it or not, but know how to have a good time.
That's really awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. And here we are already at question 6,
Okay.
which is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't, or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. But I like it. Matter of fact, I love it. Excuse me. I would say, especially for the audience, there is so many layers. for me, for any other Black man, there are so many layers. There's so much hurt that a lot of people don't get to see, that you can overcome. One thing that I teach in my business training is vulnerability. And I got it from Brene Brown. She's a wonderful author, but it was a word, that vulnerability was a word I knew we needed in our community, but didn't know how to say it until I read her book, Dare to Lead. And it's funny, growing up in the country, we drank well water. We moved to town, which is Quitman, and my mother hated the water. So we would get gallon jugs of water, go back and fill them up. And what I learned is something as pure as water, if it stays stagnant, will spoil. It will become undrinkable. And that's what we have taught a lot of Black men, not to be vulnerable, not in the sense of you, and vulnerability is very delicate, right? We're taught to fortify, and fortification has its place. But if you don't allow anything, if you're so protective not to let anything in, nothing can get out, and it'll fester and it'll corrupt you. Something as pure as water has to flow. So that would be one thing I would say I am a big proponent of, to tell Black men, young, old, wise, immature, be vulnerable, to break that mental bond of fortification that we've made the forefront of who we are. It's okay, and let it out. Show younger men it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be emotional, to be passionate. It's okay. Because again, there's so many layers, and trying to build a Black community of hurt people who don't know how to be vulnerable, how to share. We oftentimes are looking for the wrong thing in the wrong places, and continuing that hurt. So let's peel back some of these layers, and enjoy the fruits of who we truly are by being vulnerable. And that's perfectly fine to do.
Wow, that was quite powerful. Thank you.
You're
Thank
so
you. I really appreciate everything that you've said today. I also really appreciate not only your vulnerability, but your authenticity. And so I just had in my mind, in my head, you had on overalls and a piece of straw, barefoot. The overalls didn't quite make it all the way to the floor in my
Well, my wife has put almost 14 years into me. We've been married 11, but we've been together 14. She's put 14 years into me to make me put my overalls away and at least put on a decent pair of shoes. But yeah.
So she's done a good job. She's done a good job, but the country boy's still there, which is awesome.
Yes.
Because we need all of us, right?
Yeah.
And so bring your authentic, vulnerable self to the world is so powerful, and for others to see that and for you to lead in that way is just really powerful. So I'm so grateful that you were here today and that you contributed to this. And I honor you, my king. I pray that God will continue to grow and deepen you, that your epic dream actually comes true, that those legacies that you're building beyond your lifetime will flourish for many generations to come, and that they will also touch other generations and other people and other families that are outside of your familial family, but will be people will be inspired by. So I'm just so grateful for you. So thank you so much for today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an honor, and I'm so glad that I was able to be here and share.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you for joining us. I hope that you were as inspired as I am and as I was during this conversation. And if there is a Black man in your life, a positive and successful Black man that you want to see highlighted in this forum, please click the link below or in my bio, fill out the nomination form, and I'll take it from there. We are on our way to 100 Black men. And I should clarify, I say it all the time, but it bears repeating. When I say successful, I don't mean by what someone does for a living. I actually don't really care what someone does for a living because of the environmental issues that we've all had to face. Someone's living what they do for a living, as long as it's legal, let me just say that, as long as it's legal, does not necessarily bear on their potential. What I am really interested in is the content of someone's character and the impact that they are making, the positive impact that they're making on their community, be it their nuclear family or the larger community or everything in between. That's what I'm really interested in. And I think that the world needs to hear from all of those men. We have famous guys, and we just have guys, country boys, who are doing amazing things in our world, and we all need to see them. So please go ahead and make some nominations. And stay tuned next week for another interview with another amazing king. And in the meantime, please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thank you so much. And Torrence, thank you again. That was really, really wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.